Ladies and gentlemen, I think Etheria Restart Devs has done something unheard of, right? I see the Hyper Talk episode 3. A bit disappointed because they didn't talk about like the more, the more obvious issues that we've already seen like going around the community. But they posted something else 2 days ago that I didn't realize. Etheria meetup with a few content creators. So this is the developers talking to creators. Of course, big creators, but hey, those are creators that know what the issues are for sure. Right? I see, familiar names, Vulcan, I know the guy. Sean B, we've been in attorney. Genocide, he's my homie, right? So let's just see if the developers have finally listened and we get to know more about like what their vision of the game is. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, this is like the free-to-play game, but it's also extremely hard. And golden lattices and all that is really hard to come by. So is it even free-to-play anymore at that point? All that, I'm hoping they mention stuff in this video. But yeah, let's just check this out. Now, I have scrolled through a bit of like the seek here. And they do it like this, where they have a question, and then the creators will answer, talk about a question, and then ask the developers as well. So we're going to go through all these questions, and we'll see. We'll get the main points, right? But the first thing, we're not even going to like dive into the video. It's the first thing that's the most important, which is how the people are taking this, right? And I'm happy to see this. This is the first time I've seen content creator go face-to-face with game management staff. Yep, we got surveys and stuff for a lot of other games. But this game, the guys just straight up talk to you. It's really rare to see like a game developer just talk to people, right, face to face. And yeah, most of them just have this wall in there. You gotta contact them via email. It's like, yeah, you can do that, but this is a lot more raw, and I like this for sure. Ricky here is enjoying it as well. What a pop, and actually a big win for the community here. Thank you, Jack, Chris, Etheria team. Doing this, hope to become something as we players can look forward to. Yep, for sure. Dev interacting with the content creators, allowing questions is unbelievable. Yeah, who has the balls to do that, right? Etheria Restarts team, they got the balls. So let's just check out what are the stuff that they've talked about in this. Of course, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It's 48 minutes. If you want to check this out, well, it's on their official page. I do recommend checking it out. I'm sure they talk a lot about the things that you want to know, especially for like the future and the state of the game. But yeah, let's just check out the questions now. Let me just get rid of my face. What do you think about the new characters in Hyper Talk? So this is for 3 days ago. It's fuqiu and nahor, right? Now, I think fuqiu is like a solid Valerian type character, like a healer. While nahor is like a more PvE character that gives you freeze and defense down. So beautiful for something like Doki. And I actually do think if you haven't have a good Doki team, he should be someone you'd be looking forward to. But yeah, that's my take. What about the other creators, though, right?
Released. We got some new characters, events, and more to talk about. So we'd like to hear your thoughts.
I will be speeding things up as well. Also, let me just increase the volume.
I'll kick it off with the new characters in themselves. Really solid. I think with fuqiu, if that's how we say her name, I'm
fuqiu.
Really horrible. Fuqiu. There we go.
It's a Chinese
fuqiu, yeah.
We were talking about this earlier. I have no idea on pronunciation.
It's the Chinese pronunciation.
But right? I think she looks like a great option for like a lot of areas of the game. I really have to see how she works mechanically, because just from that little preview, I'm not too sure exactly how all the mechanics work. But
for
like
sure, right?
Gauge advancing, healing, shielding, speed buff as well.
I'll say as well, like one thing I hope they do quality check on like these trailers for characters, right? Like the buff's name is a bit different, I'm pretty sure. Like it's Serenity or the Veil. It's kind of confusing, but yeah, hopefully they like fix this down the line.
I think one of the big issues in Doki Doki specifically, for people that don't have Lily, obviously Lily's a big talking point. Or if you're not running like a burst remote,
not just Lily, right? It's
trying
also,
to find another.
You can run Beyondton as well. But yeah, right now the most popular like one-shot team Zoe's real Mocha plus like a buff for like Beyondton, not necessarily Lily. And then you go for Kazuya the Reverie, you go for Claws as well. A lot of people don't have Claws, a lot of people know Kazuya, a lot of people don't have, say, Mio, the opener, right? I think nahor should be to take that slot, or like open up more like choices for players, which is good, because not everyone can just pull up with one shot.
Like the most reliable one we have is Red Kaz, but unfortunately she's red and she just gets nuked, so you can't even bring her there. We do have other options, but they are mainly SSR options. But at least this will be one that you can target, try and get, and I think she's going to have good value in PvP as well. As for
speaking of which as well, I'm hoping they add like standard radar banners as well. Like right now there's standard banners, there's radar banners. I'm hoping for like the standard characters they will rate up as well, because a guy could really want a class, could never get the class because they're just unlucky. Or like maybe say Hellkit, right? They want to like play with Hellkit in PvP, cannot get Hellkit, can never get Hellkit because they just never get him from like the standard banner.
Nahor,
yeah,
if that's
that
how I
is
say
one
it.
thing.
Correct me if I'm wrong on that one as well. I think the AoE freeze with Death Shred is a really obviously nice thing to have. You know,
Yep,
you
for
get
sure.
damage amplification plus the freeze. The one thing I did notice with him is that his skill 2, I believe, is the first strip all buffs in the game. So that was something I really noticed about this game. A lot of other games have, you know, cleanse all debuffs from allies or cleanse or remove all buffs from
But yep,
enemies.
that is very useful
And
for
everyone's
even
always
tournament
1,
con,
2,
right?
sometimes with a multi-hitter like Heinrich, we've got 3, but he is only single target, but he is the first one that removes all buffs off an enemy. So I think he's going to have some utility as well, depending on different areas of the game.
I'm on the same page with Vulcan on the
Yep.
new
All
character
right.
looking
So
very
like we'll do it like this. You know, we'll go through one person and then the next we'll go to the next person for the next question, right? Otherwise, it will take too long. But yeah, overall, let me know if you agree with Vulcan or not. Those are the takes on the newer characters. I think for the newer characters, so far, they haven't really like stepped on a landmine. All the new characters are not stupid broken. They are not bad as well. They're pretty useful, all of them. Some need a lot of investment, like someone like Yeli, but once you fully invest it, it is a worthy character to own in your account for sure. And yeah, I think for fuqiu and nahor, they should be similar, right? I would say maybe even nahor doesn't need that much investment for lattices specifically because you just gotta land your stuff. But yeah, overall, I feel like they're still gonna be usable and useful characters for PvE and potentially even PvP. So solid for like the start of the game where you don't just go power creep, power creep, power creep, right? This is fine. This is fair enough. It helps everyone like clear stuff. All right, sure. So let's see what the devs are gonna say about this, right?
To add on some information, I just want to take this chance to share some share some thoughts about the new character release. So what's the plan? What's the frequency and the banner, and so why we release these characters? So I just add on something to this topic. As you know, so already Chris already shared in the Hyper Talk. So we know that the banner it's a little bit too.
My bad. The volume is really not the highest.
Frequently, sometimes just 10 days or 2 weeks, there's a new characters. It's a bit pressure for the players. So, but we, as we said, we are doing in this genre. We can see if we see the games on the market in this genre, they got 200, 300 characters, right? So because this kind of game is strategy and it's important. It's strategy and the diversity and the team building, all this stuff needs more characters because more characters can provide more possibilities with this team up building because like some players are really creative to create some fantastic team builds.
Exactly.
So
this is what I also they also gave creator survey. I wrote something like this. I'm like, all right, this game's gonna have a lot of characters, right? Give us more resources, build more characters. They are agreeing that a game like this will have a lot of characters, and I'm explaining that, you know, we need more lattices and stuff. So it's not just gonna be, oh, you have such scarce resource that you can build 2 characters, but there's 200 characters planned in the game. With right now, every like 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks, we get 2 new characters that we cannot max for sure because there's a lack of lattice. It's gonna like show like the freaking, what's the word, the difference in having resources or not, and then the amount of characters coming out releasing. We need more resources to build all of them to have more variety of a meta, right? Otherwise, it's always gonna be, because right now, even in the meta in PvP, you see the same thing. It's always the Mio Dao speed maybe, or who else? I think we see a lot of Yeli for sure. Quite a bit of Lily still, right? It's always just one person outspeed, buff your DPS, shoot them all to death. There are ways to counter those, but you need to invest a lot in like tanky stuff, bulky stuff, which right now we don't have the leeway to because they need a lot of resources. They're not just modules, there's also lattices as well, all of that. So yeah, wonder if they're gonna talk about it though.
We launched, we only got 50 units, that's SR and SSR. So now we are close to 60, I think. So, but we think it's quite a lot, but still there's a gap between our goal or it's to make this game more fun and more diverse. So that's why at the very beginning we released the banners and characters a little bit more frequently.
Okay.
But after this banner, you can see if you can check the the duration of this banner, it will be 3 weeks. So before it's always 2 weeks, but
all right. So this is good, right? This is what I'm talking about. Like at the start, they kept releasing stuff 2 weeks. It's every 2 weeks. And we don't have enough resources to build them, not in the wildest of dreams, right? So now they're going to say, okay, at the start, there's a lack of characters, so they release more and more frequently. Okay, fair enough. After this, it's only 3 weeks. Every new banner is going to come every 3 weeks, so that's good for people to at least have more resources to build up, right? I still hope they gift more in general, because 1 more week's not going to mean I can build another character, right? But at least it's a step in the right direction. If it's always new character every 2 weeks, GG's, right? You ain't going to have... You ain't even going to ever reach 1 million coins, over 1 million, because you're going to always be under. You're going to always be trying to farm. And yeah, it's pretty tough resource-wise, so this is good.
This banner, it will be 3 weeks. And hopefully we can fix this, how to say, this duration of these banners to 3 weeks. So every 3 weeks we will release new characters, and there won't be a back-to-back light and dark banner. So
no LD back-to-back. Awesome.
There's one light and dark banner, then another again. So this won't happen. We try to manage that. And another thing is about SR. So maybe players think only SSR its value, and because it will generate some revenue for the game, right? But we also see in Etheria there are a lot of SR characters. They are also super powerful, and even some R characters like Vice. I saw a lot of players are using Vice because it's easy to build, right? So I think that's a part of our very beginning why we designed these characters, because we want almost every character has its position. I shared in last live chat, so before launch. So that's our goal. We want to create every character has its position.
So they're saying, like, the rarity doesn't even matter that much. They want every character to have a role in the game that's usable, right? That is awesome, and I like that. I like the direction where we're going. Okay, it's not just all SSR. This SSR stronger than the last. If you don't get this new one, you're gonna just lose out. That's awesome. But, I mean, is there anything to complain about? I guess there are some SRs that's really not as good. Or maybe people haven't realized how to use them, perhaps. But yeah, someone like... What's the name? Oboro? Like, I don't think I'll ever want to use Oboro, or you have the need to use Oboro, but maybe she's actually secretly stupid broken. But yeah, I'm hoping if that is what you're saying, though, you want all the characters to be good, have their own role. I'm going to look forward to balance patches, right? If you see something that's underused or no one uses them at all, maybe get a little bit of buff. It doesn't have to be insane, just a little bit of a buff, or maybe. In fact, I would say just release the idea behind these characters in your official channel, right? So what you do right here, you do new Animus fuqiu, new Animus nahor. You also post like Mia, Bortney, show where they're best at or what the design idea was for them. Like, and not just introducing their kit, right? But have a part in the video where it explains like, okay, we designed this character to be good in this specific few modes, and maybe even good in PvP. Like, give it a good breakdown. I feel like it's gonna improve a lot of ideas in a game, right? Because right now I'm pretty sure there's a lot of like Rs or SRs that we don't even know what they're good for, right? It's our job to like find out as players as well. But hey, if you want it to be quicker, you want to like show what characters are good and where, or what the design idea was, give it more function. Like, give it a function showcase in these trailers. That'd be pretty awesome, I feel. But okay.
And somewhere, even the
that should be all for this part. Let's just keep going, right?
Characters.
New event.
What do you think about the new event, Dreamscape? I haven't even played. Is it out? I don't think it's out, right? Okay. Etheria servers under maintenance, so I can't show it. I don't think it's out yet. But Dreamscape is the rogue-like type of game, right? Where you beat a stage, you get buffs, go to the next stage. I think no one's mad at that.
Revealed. I'd
right?
like to know.
But we're gonna take one person. Yeah, Sean B.
So
Let's go.
according to what I saw from the video, I think that a new event's gonna be very similar to the Cage Rumble type event, because I saw many different bosses from the video that we have to challenge. And
I mean, it's different, I think, right? It's stage by stage by stage. You get a buff after every stage, something like that. No,
I hope the reward is gonna be good, because I think one of the biggest common theme about event in the game is that it's either a little bit too fast or a little bit too hard. So it's very hard for casual player to get all the rewards. So I wonder what the event's gonna be like.
Oh, that's it.
I'll go next. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see about this event, because I think the most important thing is people want a bunch of rewards, or the chance to be able to get something really useful to push their account right now, especially since it's early on in the game. So I hope that the event is able to propel some of these players forward, especially people who might not be the strongest at the moment, people who are kind of in between the early and mid game or end game.
Yep, that's fair enough. For me, for me, we see a lot of the like hardcore players, right? Work chat and everything. They seem to like clear everything so quickly. But let's not forget there are a lot of people who are just casual as well. They still haven't beat Hell 1, for instance, of all of the like end game farming dungeons have not cleared Hell 1. Feels like they're falling behind. We don't want those players. Like I was in that slot as well until I got lucky, got like a few really lucky pulls. I think I got Shadow Sunny and Lily in the span of 2 days, and it's like, oh, instantly we're beating everything. But yep, a lot of players that don't have certain characters, they aren't like hyper invested in the game where they're spending money, where they're spending a lot of their hours. I'm hoping there are like easier completable events, something like, you know, the Dazzler, whatever event, the DICE events as well that we have currently. But for this one, it's sort of like a new game mode, right? I'm hoping for casual players to just have this mode where it's not about, okay, you got to do so much damage, you get this much rewards. It's just a fun mode. You get buffs as long as you get the right combination of buffs after beating stages. You can beat the game, get all the rewards, and the rewards are very good ones. Those would be good. It's similar to Epic 7's like Automaton Tower, right? That thing's not that hard, and you can get buffs, all that. But either way, let's see what the devs are talking about. Let's see. Oh, it's instantly. There we go.
The community that previously some of the events, they just need some challenge, too challenging for the casual players like that.
So they're saying events too challenging. I would say kind of agreeable. You know, you got that Infinity Train. That thing's not the easiest one, right? What else are there? Cage Rumble as well is not the easiest mode. I don't even clear Cage Rumble that much because it's really not that easy. You need a lot of characters, right? So yeah, let's see.
Or the reward is not as players expect. So when we design this event, so of course we put these thoughts in consideration. So first of all, I want to share is I believe this event will be the most rewarding event after launch among all these events.
Most rewarding event. All right. Keep your calendar checked, right? You want to complete this event. I'm hoping the rewards are good, but it's also accessible to everybody as long as you're active. I love if we're rewarded by being just active and play the game. Don't love we're just walling, like, you know, if it's a stat wall. That's just boring. You can do that, but not all events have to be just stat walls or unit walls or just build walls that you don't have that Fury Edge piece, that you don't have that triple mattress shell yet, that you can't beat those. I'm hoping it's a mode like that.
We hope so.
Like,
so
it's a mode that doesn't need you to invest fully on an in-game account. You can still beat it as long as you play it and be active with it.
So to let players feel really rewarding in these new events. But I don't know if you noticed there are two, how to say, transport or portals. Yes, there are two portals. There's one is light, one is dark. So in general, so we also consider there are two types of players. One, you want to play safe, you want to guarantee some reward.
All right, hold on. By the way, hold on. My bad, honestly. But yeah, it's too low, dude. I cannot hear.
I recommend you.
Why is it so low? That's so weird.
Because there.
No, it's not system sounds. My bad. It's already 100, so I don't know what to do. I guess we'll just have to keep. Oh, there we go.
Not that much risk. You can always get the reward you want. But the other one, you will put in some attention because it's kind of risky. You might double or even triple.
They're saying there's two modes, right? One safe one, one risky one. Okay, fair enough.
Sometimes you get lose your reward. So just that's you have to make careful choices. So
fair enough.
That's my suggestion. But in general, this event is very rewarding. I hope you will enjoy it.
Very rewarding.
Perfect.
I'm going to take the risky portal, and then I'm going to lose everything and complain that it was the worst event of all time.
All right, I mean, this is interesting. Apparently, there's two portals, something like that. I assume is when you beat a stage, you can choose, like, you know, safe route, risky route, all that.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of everyone. I think that's gonna be everyone's experience.
I think that when you go stream, the players always you can let the players to make choice for you, right? Left or right?
Just
We'll have to see the mode.
Right, guys,
exactly, right? I'm not sure what this means. Like risky, safe route? That's interesting, but okay. Let's just move on to the next question now. What else do we have? Is it a question or is it just a sharing session?
Whole day of all of your energy for that, and I think a lot of players.
All right,
no,
we gotta listen to this
To make
part.
sometimes you get lose your.
All right, let's listen to this part.
I think that when you go stream, the players always you can let the players to make.
Just while you're live streaming. All right, guys, which way am I going? And then
You
just
know what
Yeah.
they're voting for.
Yeah. Yes. So.
All right, cool. Thank you for that explanation, Jack. Let's get
There
into
we
talking
go.
about some of the quality of life adjustments and future plans. We'll start with Jenna this time on your thoughts.
Yeah, so let me talk about some quality of life things that I think would be really important for the game. So, first of all, I think a lot of people are kind of in pain when they're swapping between different things that they're trying to farm. So, like, let's say you want to farm Inferno Doki really quick, but then you look at your dailies and you're like, oh, I also have to farm this other thing, or you want to farm shells.
Yeah.
It can take a long time sometimes to swap between all of your gear. I know we have gear sets, but
All right, yeah, the gear loadout thing. I mean, is me personally, the way I set things up is I have a team for everything. I don't touch them. I don't swap them. I have a team for everything, and I try not to touch them. But I think specifically, if you're trying to clear Inferno Ringo Kutsu with class and use also rank class with, say, Doki Inferno, one needs like Dark Moon to be easier. One needs Codex of Magic, right? So I really hate, yes, there's loadout, but I still really hate to swap in between. But I mean, it's not that big of a deal to me. But let's see what Jenna's talking about.
I think something that would be really useful is team sets, where you can save an entire team with all of their gear together, because then you, at a click of a button, you could instantly go, oh, I want to do this one, and now I want to do this one. I think
That's good. That's good. And you know what? Allow that option in the team lineup preview. So when we fight Doki, you know how we gotta hit start battle? Allow like the loadout thing to be on the left or something that we can just click and swap. Boom. Don't make this for PvP, right? That would be too stupid. But yeah, for PvE, I would love that for sure.
that would help a lot of people, because it could be frustrating one by one swapping between everybody. I think that would be really great. And another thing I would definitely say is I think that we're just so low on silver. It just feels really rough. So same with upgrading shells sometimes, is you feel like you farm for a while to upgrade something, and
It's not even an upgrade for the shells, right? Upgrade shells, yeah, it takes a lot. It's the refresh of the stats. Oh, that thing grinds my gear, bro. I would farm for an hour, have like 2 million of the currencies, reset everything, does not get the one I need. It's so annoying.
However, at least shells, you're guaranteed you know what you're getting. But with gear, sometimes you'll upgrade something to plus 15.
Yeah, the gear as well.
And it's not even that good of a piece of gear, but you just used a full day of all of your energy for that. And I think a lot of players are hurting from it.
So I agree with all the points that people are saying. I think one thing that a lot of people in the community would say, if they were in my spot right now, that I know that Jack wouldn't really agree, is the lack of skill up that we get in a game.
Yes.
Which is
now,
the-
apparently, Jack wouldn't really agree, is what Sean B said. I'm not sure what this is about, but yeah, let's listen for longer. But this is something that I mentioned as well. Like, the lattices, we have a lack of it. The purple ones, we don't like that much. Gold ones, definitely, right? Considering if you are releasing a character like Yelly, which needs at least 10 lattices to be really good. And then we get 10 lattices probably from the start of the game till now if you're fully free to play. So it's pretty tough to, like, you know, upgrade stuff, considering there's so many characters, right? And especially for PvP as well. This is a PvP game. They marketed it that way. And if we can't even get skill ups that easily, the meta would just be the same few characters, right? Because you don't have enough to invest on others. So that's the main thing. But let's see.
Lattice for the SR and the SSR, because building these characters to follow the content creator guide means I have to max skill Red Cast or max skill Obo, which I just can't do it right now, which
Exactly.
is really, really hard. And I think it takes a long time to accumulate skill up in the game, which I think is the intention of the game. And a lot of skill up is hidden behind playing the game, like hyperlink chatter, like the Amber track or whatever. Like
Even combining those, I feel like it's not enough. I feel like, you know what we need? Weekly. At the end of the weekly, you give us like 1 gold lattice, right? Weekly, right? I feel like that's fine. That's not crazy, because that also rewards people for being active. You play the game a lot throughout the whole week. All right, here's a golden lattice. I feel like that's a good touch.
hidden, because for a casual player, they would go into the shop to see if they can buy a skill up, and it's either with money or like a 1 skill up or 2 in the PvP shop, which they really hate doing. So I think in a way we can highlight the skill up we can get in other parts of the game. That's gonna be great because personally
good
I
as
don't
well.
have a huge problem with skill up in the game because like I have 10 years of experience playing a similar game, so I know what I'm doing. But to a casual player, I think that's gonna be a nightmare to get skill up. And another thing is that when you farm in the game, right now you farm a whole day and you kind of blow it in 2 pieces of module. I think another way to help people with that, with the feeling that I farm a day, I want to at least guarantee something, is to allow us to get the module crafting currency, the module essence,
Yeah.
after farming, so that we can slowly build up to craft in the module shop. Because I think right now the only way is to spend
For
money to buy the crafting material to craft potentially a bad piece as well.
That's a really good point. Like the module shop, where you need to spend 200 of the shop currency to buy a module, that thing cannot be farmed, right? You can only get them like once after beating specific stages, which is like, what's the point of that then, right? Or you can spend real money, which, come on now, let's not let's not
But
make
if
that
I
the
can
only
just
way.
farm, recycle, get the module essence, and target
Yes.
the piece of gear that I'm missing to make the set, I think that's gonna really help with a lot of people to feel that, okay, I farmed the entire day, I can craft 1 or 2 pieces of the set that I really need. Because I can farm an entire day and don't see a single Swift Rush, and that's gonna feel
For sure.
terrible. I just need 1 more piece, but I just don't see it. So I think
Yeah.
being able to craft at least 1 or 2 Swift Rush or the momentum piece that they're missing, it's gonna help. Because one of the things that really helped me when I break through that small gap between like the one before Hell was buying the $10 pack in the game that give you like the momentum of Fury
Yeah.
set.
I bought that
that
as
just
well. That thing is like really good for progression, right? But you gotta spend money, and that's not exactly too easy for a lot of people. Like a lot of people just want to have a good time, right? Let's not make this so business, right? Like just let us have a good time. Let us feel the progression that would feel okay. Like let us sink some time in instead of just having to sink real money in. That'd be good. But yeah, the triple Fury ones that you can buy off packs, those are so good, right? But yeah, imagine if I could just continually farm, say, Nightmare. If I'm stuck Nightmare, I can't go to Hell in Doki. I continually farm Nightmare. I recycle stuff, get 200 of the module currencies. I can get the triple mattresses one if I'm lucky. And that will get me out the rut without having to force myself to spend money. I feel like that's a good
Beat my
touch.
knitting instantly. I don't have to farm the next level to build my knitting, but I can just buy it in the module shop. So I think that's gonna help a lot of people with the question, how do I farm Inferno without Inferno gear? Because that's what people think you need to farm Inferno, is to get Inferno gear to farm it.
You don't necessarily need them, but it's pretty much like it's really helpful to have those like red gears, Inferno type gears to beat Inferno, obviously, right? For me, I had to at least get full red gear. Not triple mattress this one, but full red gear to like beat Inferno consistently right now. I haven't beat Aurora yet, but yeah, the rest of the I did. So fair point.
How do I do that? Is to buy in the shop. By farming a lot in Hell, you can potentially get Inferno gear. In a way.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say this pain points or pain experience as player, as dev team, we also can feel. So as I mentioned, most of our team also play the game whole day. So we are also like level 90 plus like that. So we are in the tier 1 player level. So we also we personally experience all these game settings and economic. So and all the players share in this community, and we also check every day. So we are aware of these problems or these not that good experiences. So first of all, but I want to share some thoughts of our game design thoughts. So why we set it like this and how we can improve in the future. Okay, in general, the economic, right? The economic of the game and the cost. So behind that, so that's why we set up like this way. Is I don't say now it's perfect, but just we see several games that if they doesn't manage very well, it's at the very beginning, in a very short time, the silver of the game is just useless, and the players has so much amount of the useless coins, and then they don't care
Is that the case? I mean, I played Epic 7 before. I've never once thought, wow, I have a lot of gold. I mean, at the start, it's been like 5 years, so I can't remember. But I don't remember ever thinking, wow, a lot of gold or a lot of silver. If you don't know Epic 7, it's like almost exactly the same game. But yeah, I don't think that's like a worthy worry though, right? You're worried about at the start, there's no use for silver. I mean, there's no issues with that, right? You're eventually going to use them is what I'm thinking. But let's just continue listening.
About the reward from the events or the silver related events. So we don't want that to happen. But of course, now because we are just launched 1 month and we don't have that much events put in the game, and the players also cannot really beat the end game content. So you will feel the reward is not enough. So what we thought is we will in the future, like we shared before, so the new event, the Dream Escape, we want to, it will be a huge amount of reward.
All right, so you know what? Like, this is direct answer number 1, I would say, for the resource sink point. They are saying this Dreamscape has the most reward so far out of any events, or like at least it's gonna be very rewarding. So maybe that will alleviate a lot of the pain for the lack of silver, for the lack of lattices, all of that, right? So good start, good start. Let's see if there's anything else.
The silvers and other stuff. So because as the game goes on and on, there will be new events, new reward, a lot of things going on. So we want to solve this problem by adding new events, and so we'll feel, and as the players progression, their account will be stronger and stronger. They will, in every event, they will get more reward. So I think it will slightly solve this problem. But of course, we will also check some other things, like so RNG things, bad experience in a game like the Inferno shell drop. Of course, it's not good, looking very good right now.
All right, this is like problem number 2 that we see a lot of people are talking about. Like, why do we still get epic shells in Inferno stages for shells if it's gonna be that hard, right? For instance, Rengoku, I can't even beat it yet, but I beat freaking Hoyan. Hoyan Inferno still drop tons of epic level shells, which is just annoying, right? But you know, you can drop epics, I guess, but not at the rate of it's dropping. I've had full 10 clears before that's just 90% gold, 90% epic. That's annoying, right? Let's see what they're talking about.
I saw some screenshots that they do a 5 round or 10 round. It's all gold. It's no red. I saw that. So we are already trying to figure out a kind of PTC system. Like,
you know what? All right, they're figuring out kind of a pity system. Does he explain what idea he has?
At least every 5 round or 4 round, you at least get 1 red.
All right. W. All right, W. So instead of making like the drop rate higher, now you get a pity. I'm down for that. At least for every, say, 10 round, they're saying 4 or 5 rounds you get a pity. Okay, let's assume it's 5. For a total of 10, you get 2 guaranteed drop pities. That's going to significantly increase like the chances of you not seeing a full page of gold after 10 rounds. Fair enough. I feel like that's acceptable. You're not trying to make it so easy, but you're also trying to alleviate the issue. That's good. It's
not 10 rounds, you get nothing, right? Another thing is, everybody knows in Inferno, the gold one is already useless, right? So we want to replacement, but everybody's lack of the training data. So we will replace the golden ones into a special shell. You can.
Ooh, so they're saying replacing golden shell drops in Inferno and replacing it with a unique shell that you can get training data from is what I'm understanding. Let's keep listening.
Call it training data shell. So when you
training data shell is gonna be dropped instead of gold shells now if you beat Inferno. Is what I'm understanding. Is it at a different rate? All that. Let's keep listening.
Get the golden one. It's not for battle. You can just sell it, but you get double or even, I don't know, just more trading data to you. It's not for battle. It's when you get the gold one, you know you get more training data, so you won't feel that worse when you get a gold one. So all this solution we are already working on, and
all right. So all of this they're just working on. It's not guaranteed. The numbers are not guaranteed. It's not exactly 5 you get a pity, not yet, but they are planning things like these. And the golden shell drops is basically removed as an idea, just an idea, not exactly like set in stone. But yeah, now you get training data shells where you can sell. It gets you maybe double, maybe of course, a higher rate of training data as you would recycle a normal epic shell right now, which is awesome. It deals with like the resource sink that we have with training data, especially when we try to get that red speed substats for shells. You can have more rolls now. That is awesome.
But it will take some time. It's just an idea, so we need some
idea will take
and
some
testing
time.
How it works. So, but what I want to say is we know this issue. We want to fix it, and with these solutions, I hope the players' general experience will be getting better.
Devs listened. They listened. All right, they definitely listened. Right, they're literally saying we listened. So that's good. That's awesome. So we don't know when the changes are going to be announced and all that, but at least they know of the issue. They're not running from it anymore. Before it feels like they're running because with the hyper talk, I'm like, really? You have like 5 questions that's most commonly asked, nothing about these. All right, now they have this whole meetup, literally directly dealing with all the issues. I love that. This is, every game should do this. All right.
That sounds great. Yeah.
I think
great.
one of the simplest solution is just like buff the training data drop, like simply 50%, not even double. I think just a little bit more so that you can actually max out one shell a day.
Yeah. And the goal is the same, I said. So let's see. So we will figure out. So
yeah. So basically they're saying the goal is to increase the drops. It can happen in a lot of different ways, is what they're saying. So, all right, cool. Let's just move on because the video is like 2,000 hours now. What does Vulcan say here?
Or like honestly, I got the 2 gear management and skill order priorities. Those are my 2. I can't pick one.
We all choose one different one, so they have to do 3. Right?
Yeah. Well, how about we all choose 2 now?
yeah. Okay. So we know that the gear management we believe it's the most painful point now because you have so many characters, so many different content you have to run, and even there are.
So they're talking about gear management, something that Jenna and Vulcan mentioned as an issue, right? Not like a big issue, but it's like a pain point, so to say. So let's see what their solution is.
Different PvE and the PvP mode. So
for sure.
Internally, we already start a solution for this. So we are doing 2 things. I think it's basically what Jenna Z has mentioned. I hope you will be satisfied when it's released. The first thing we are trying to do is for the team management, because we have team preset.
So Jenna mentioned a solution as a team preset. So instead of having to like save one character's presets and then swap like all 5 of the characters or 4 of the characters, swap their gear back and forth for PvP, PvE, different modes of PvE, that's just annoying. Jenna's not mentioned to use team presets, so you can just one click your whole team's now Doki Inferno mode with Doki Inferno PvE stuff. One click it's PvP mode. One click it's Aurora Inferno, right? So they are mentioning that's a good idea, right? From Jenna. So I'm hoping to see that in game. For sure it's gonna be fire.
In the game, right? You can preset your team, but now the gears and the shell are not included. So we are trying to make a solution when you preset a team, let's say a Doki Doki team, then the team, modules and shells all included. How about
fire?
That's perfect. That's great.
Sounds good.
Fire.
That's
Sounds
exactly
great.
what we need.
Yeah, so that's the thing. The mostly because for PvE, because we have so many different dungeons, you need to really different team, even the same team sometimes with different gear set or shell. So I think if we finish this feature, I think this will be a huge improvement.
Awesome.
And another thing is, for me personally, I usually have to switch from my Shadow Senya to another, like let's say Kraken like that. So I also don't have that much gears for all these characters. So of course, a separate for PvE and PvP gear set, we're also working on it. So hopefully, ideally, when we launch this feature, you can get I'd say in your arena page, we have 3 arena, right? That's mostly for PvP. We will add a feature there. You can preset all your PvP gears.
So not just across PvE, there may be a next level of separation for PvP and PvE. So in PvE, you get to swap between loadouts for different PvE modes. In PvP, there's a whole different thing where you can like one click, you have this loadout for PvP. That sounds awesome.
So then after you preset all your characters' PvP gear in all PvP content, including the guild war and all these 3 mode of PvP, the character will only use these PvP gears.
Oh, that's good.
But then, of course, they cannot share. It's
Yeah, they can't share across. Yeah, I get it.
characters still they have to manage. They cannot share the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah,
yeah.
so they cannot share the same piece, but everyone could have.
So it's like you have 2 different loadouts for PvP. Like for PvP, you can load out. Everyone's having this stuff. You got the 300 speed Lily on Gigabyte, and then on PvE you have the 290 speed Lily on Artisan. And then you can whenever you play PvE. Oh, my bad, my alarm's up. But yeah, whenever you play PvE, you get the Artisan Lily, but then you just gotta go in PvP, instantly your Lilies on your PvP loadout. I'm understanding it that way. If it is,
for
that's
PvP.
cool.
And then when you
That's
go
awesome.
to PvE, you have this team set. The PvE they will go to the PvE one, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. And also, someone mentioned about the Etheria. So when we have this feature, the problem also solved because someone said they should have a snapshot of the gears, but you already have a PvP set, then no problem.
Exactly. So this is for Etheria, this is for normal arena, whatever arena, one loadout. Cool.
Because in Etheria, they will automatically goes to the PvP set. So
Yep.
So I think when we add these 2 features, a lot of problem will be solved. But it's complicated because we already have this gear management and all these things. So you just need some time to develop. I just share today is we already started. We started the solutions and
All right. So main point is they have a lot of solutions in plan, but they are not gonna release like instantly. They're gonna release as time go by, which at least they're doing something about it. I'm just hoping it's not empty promises, right? Which I'm sure if you have the balls to do something like this meetup, you're not gonna just say shit for fun, right? So I'm looking forward to that. Let's just move on, because I don't want to make a 2-hour video. But yeah, I'm sure the point is being delivered though. So, do you have any thoughts about RTA Weekly Tournament and EWS? For my opinion, first of all, RTA, we need more resources. I mean, RTA, meaning you need resources to get characters ready for RTA. We can't even have a lot of characters ready yet for even PvE for most of the players. So, I don't really think there's a set in stone thought in RTA yet, because yeah, you have the speedy meta right now. But then it's gonna, we know it's gonna slow down once we get more resources, but we are not at that point yet. So, to get to that point easier for more players, we just need more resources, right? More gun lattices for you to max my freaking Lingual S1, for example. I still haven't gotten that through. So that's why I can't beat Aurora. That's why I can't beat Rengo Kutsu, number 1. But yeah, number 2, just a lot more other resources from modules. You need what? There's Ether Plate, Swift Raid, Swift Rush, freaking Swift whatever, Swift Smite. All that stuff needs silver. We need more resources to put in all these characters. And the rolls doesn't necessarily guarantee that you can complete the build, so you need to roll a good one. It takes too long. So if you solve the resource issue, once we get more resources going, we can have a more diverse meta in RTA. I think the game has one of the more balanced RTA systems, and it's more bruiser based, and there's more wiggle room compared to some other games I've played. It's not just this one character beats everything, right? You can play fast, you can play slow. All of them are fair game, in my opinion. But I could foresee in, say, 6 months, everyone still will do, like, the one same playbook. This happens in every PvP game, right? There's going to be a meta eventually. Everyone's just going to stick to one playbook that's the most efficient. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen, and that could be alleviated as long as you keep balancing a lot of these characters. If something's too strong, drop them down a bit. They have done that before, which is awesome. They've done it on release, right? Like Tiamat's nerf, for example. She's still good in RTA right now, like in a specific team, obviously. But as long as you continue to balance the game well, monitor the game, then RTA would be awesome. Weekly tournament EWS, I'll be honest, it's good, but for casual players, it's like whatever, right? Casual players, they wouldn't care much about tourneys and EWS, but for the more hardcore players, it's an awesome event. And yeah, I don't see anyone would have much issue with that. At least that's my personal opinion. Let's hear about what these people have to say, though.
The experience in Etheria. Do you have any suggestions or feedback according to this?
Right. If it's suggestions, are there any? Now, I haven't climbed high enough RTA to know if there's ban protect, but yeah, ban protect would be pretty fire, I suppose. I think it's a needed, like, gimmick to have a really good, like, you know, play style setup. Like, you protect one character so you can, like, work with that character, build your team, and then there's where the mind game comes in. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if Van Protect's available up top. I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, that's the only one thing I can say, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to start off because I've had a great experience on stream with the RTA especially. So I started a new account on Asia server 2 weeks in, so it's only about 2 weeks old now. And, you know, we've been playing up until basically floating now between Platinum 3 and Diamond 1, where you get the new rule set. And it was just really fun playing some games and, you know, doing the sort of off-meta thing where I had my Lily, but she was just my band bait, and then I'd have a really fast O-ball that just stuns everyone at the start.
Yep,
Obviously,
I've
higher
done
ranks,
that,
you got more
something like that
bulwark, it
before.
doesn't work. But I think even on the early game stage where, you know, I was level 40 to 50, beating level 80 to 90 accounts, it has that real fun and strategy about it in the RTA. And honestly, it's the side of the game that I enjoy the most, even though I'm a free-to-play player. I just love RTA. I love strategizing, coming up with teams, and doing all that stuff. I think honestly, the biggest downfall for me in terms of playing RTA on the first account that I created was that I hit Inferno, and then I had to, like, I was having so much fun pushing RTA, and then I'm like, oh, I've got to reprioritize absolutely everything for trying to sort out this Inferno grind. So I think in general, PvP...
This is what I mentioned about resources, right? Like, it's fun when you have to have a lot of characters to work with, but you gotta get those resources ready for the characters to be ready for RTA, so it's all gonna go back to resources, right?
He is just really fun side of the game. I've been hosting a bunch of the tournaments as well, and you get to see some really cool stuff in the tournaments. You know, it was very, last tournament we had, it was very bruiser heavy, you know, which is a strat I personally love. But then when you're a spectator and you've gone through 4 bruiser matches, and then you come up to 2 blokes both running complete Revelation builds, and it's like, who's going to outspeed and Revelation nuke the other one, or are they on Bloodbath? You know, like, there's all those different strategies. And I think on a spectacle, I've really enjoyed hosting some of these tournaments because you get to see some really cool strategies. And from a player level, as a free-to-play player on an account that was 2 weeks old, like, I still got to, you know, create my own strategies that could outplay.
I'll say at this stage of the game, yeah, you can say that. Like, it's fun because you can still always try and outspeed. You can still go for a tank down, but I'm pretty sure in a few months, a lot of us are going to slow down because that's a more, like, in my opinion, a more stable play. That's going to win a lot more games. Because right now there's no bulwark, so yeah, whatever. Outspeed with a random Kazuya, you can sleep everybody and still win. But yeah, once everyone has that bulwark set, once everyone has, like, all the counter set, high ER build set up, it's going to slow down. And I'm not exactly 100% sure what's going to happen with the meta then. It might be boring. It might still be as interesting. But as I said, right, as long as the balance keep happening, the balancing keep happening, then the game will be solid. If something's too strong, make it a bit less strong. Don't make something obviously so strong that everyone wants to play that. That's how it ruined, like, say, I'm gonna say it, Epic 7 RTA for me. Like, I used to really love that, love claiming RTA in Epic 7. But yeah, once, say, ML Arunga came out, it's like, bro, it's very boring because everyone's trying to first pick the same character, right? And that playstyle is just really strong. It's really, really annoying. But at least for E7 lately, I would say, yeah, there's still fast playstyles, but the more stable ones and higher up, you're always going to see the same 2 characters. And I feel like it's really hard to prevent that. It's not about Epic 7's fault, I would say. Like, at some point, it is their fault. Some point, it's like, it's gone far enough where I don't know what they can do. But for Etheria restart, I wonder if that's going to happen, right? But I feel like as long as you keep on balancing the game, it shouldn't happen as, like, terribly as I would envision. So, yeah, if something's too strong, make it less strong. If something's too weak, make it more strong. And make it consistent and season by season, right? So this season, we got something that's too strong. All right, next season, this thing that's overly strong, make it a bit less strong. Something that's weaker, bump them up. Then you can, like, seesaw this around.
That have been playing longer than me. So I love RTA. That's why that was the main thing that drew me into the game.
Yeah.
And I think it's going really well. As for the standard arena, as you mentioned earlier about some of the gear changes you guys have possibly in the works, I think that would solve a lot of that because I think one of the main frustrations with the ETH arena is just when you're farming gear and you have to change the gear and, you know, your defense just keeps losing.
All right, let's just check out
Sean and you?
Sean's take.
I think I'm more focused on the Etheria, the AI one. But to me, it's not really PvP. It's more, to me, it's like another Inferno level dungeon in there. If you beat it, then you get like rewarded very heavily, which is amazing. And I think that is where a lot of casual player will also focus on, because that is where you don't lose a lot and you win a lot from that content, which give people a very good feeling from playing a PvP game. And personally, I've reached Mythic rather comfortably, and I get a lot of rewards from that, but a lot of people would not get to Mythic that easily. And I think the problem with that content right now is the gear swap thing, which hopefully is going to be fixed in the future. But I think another problem I have with the content is when you go to the arena shop, the first shop that allow you to buy the lattice is very, very expensive to a non-super 6 hours a day kind of guy like me, and they feel like they're going to be missing out on the perfect and the evolution lattice, which can be kind of a big deal for a lot of players, because that's where a lot of progression is.
If you're not understanding, you need 7.5k of the currencies that you get from winning in Etheria, which is the normal arena. You need 7.5k to get the golden lattice, and it resets every week. So you have to play every day. And I'm not sure if you have to win a certain amount. I'm kind of thinking you should need to, and then you can afford the 7.5k, right? So for players that are more casual, that doesn't really like touch PvP that much, you might miss a few golden lattices. So good point.
Being gated behind is that, do you have your Linglo skill 1 max? Do you have your Kachi the God skill 3 max? And I think reducing the price on the Etheria shop is gonna really help a lot, because
or increase the amount of currency you get, like, you know,
play five matches a day, or remember to play 5 matches a day, or not everyone can afford the feeling of using their pool currency to refresh the arena ticket to do another 10 so they can get the rewards in there. Personally, I do, because it's not a big deal for me and I can get all the rewards in there, but it's definitely going to be a problem for many players, and I wish that the prices of the Etheria could just be a bit more affordable for the players. That'd be amazing. And because you can also buy all the progression items in there, but because it's in there and you can't buy it, it feels kind of bad. And in terms of RTA, I absolutely love it. I love doing RTA in Summoner, so I think I do easily like 300 RTA tickets per week, and I would love to do more, because
if he's still saying he does it now, and from like 10 years ago till now he's doing that, that's crazy. That is insane. I've not played Summoners War, so I don't know how fun that is, but for me, if I were to do that for E7, I would not be able to take that. But yeah,
I'm doing RTA all the time. But the problem with doing RTA in this game is I win 20 matches and I'm done. Like, I don't feel the motivation to do more RTA than I need to. And it feels kind of bad to do more for basically no gain. And I can see all the item in the shop that I can buy if I play more, but I can't now because there's just no reward for RTA. And I wish that the RTA...
Alright, I haven't even checked because I know I'm not climbing that high, but is there no like titles or something like that if you hit rank 1 or something? That would be bad. I never realized this. I know I'm not climbing to that rank, but I would assume, top 100, top 1, top 2, top 3, maybe you get a unique title, unique border, something like that.
A participation mission could reset every single week. I think they don't reset every single week now, which is kind of a deal breaker for a lot of people for doing RTA, and I hope that RTA participation can be much higher if just the reward for doing it reset every single week. That would be very, very cool.
Yeah,
fair enough.
So first, thanks for your feedbacks, and I think first back to Sean's feedback. So it's a little bit challenging, so like I said, our game is not only PvE but also PvP content, but how to balance in these two content, it's really challenging, because
right. So now they're saying, because I thought, I'm not sure where I heard this from, but I think a lot of the people's consensus are like, okay, Etheria Restart is more of a PvP game than PvE. I think what Jack here has to say is he doesn't see it that way. I think he more sees it as like a both PvE and PvP, and he's trying to balance both sides. Fair enough. So I'm gonna update that. I'm gonna update that in my mind real quick. Not sure why I somehow just assumed this is more of a PvP focused game. I guess compared to others, it's more of a PvP focused game, right? But all right, I'm happy to see they're saying, all right, PvE and PvP, they're balancing both sides. They're not just trying to develop this into only PvP. That is awesome. That's gonna keep a lot of players trying continue to play the game, right? I know a lot of people that's just here for PvE, here for clearing all the Ember tracks and such. It's a fun game anyway, even for PvE, right?
Every player's play style and their I would say their favorite content is different. Someone really love to play RTA every day, and also we see some people playing Fearless Arena. There's one guy, he got 70 championship in that week. So he really tried to play that. But some people, they also feel very stressful to play RTA because it's very stressful because there are a lot of good players there, and you can always lose in the RTA. So if we make that reward even higher, maybe some people will say, oh, I always get to lose, I have to play.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But I think Sean mentioned something like, all right, just the participation reward. If you just participate, you get rewarded. That's awesome. But if you get better rewards for, say, achieving rank 1, that's like resource dependent. I feel like that's a bit... Okay, rank 1, sure. But if you force every player to hit like a high rank that's technically achievable, but you gotta grind, that's gonna be like, it's hard to balance, right? Some people will feel, oh, I gotta climb to, say, diamond, but I'm a casual player, I'm kind of stuck in platinum. It's hard to climb up. And if the rewards are so good that they are forced to climb and they don't want to climb, that's terrible, right? That would be boring for them. I feel like the best balance here is top 100, you get like a title, you get like borders, whatever. Right? The higher it is, the more unique. Maybe you can go like percentile. Top 10%, you get a very cool border. And then top 25, you get less of a cool border, but it's still pretty sick. And then anyone else would just get participation prize, right? Something like that. Maybe not just top 100. I would say maybe top 10,000, get a border. Something like that, right? And I don't know if you want it to be like resource dependent. Like, let's say if you get rank 1, you get 10 LD pulls. I don't know if you want that. But yeah, at least get some unique stuff for like top. Yeah, for achieving top rankings, right? I'm not even sure if it's already in game. I assumed it was. Like, surely there was something if you hit rank 1 or something, right? Maybe a border or something. But maybe there isn't. I want to check right now, but the server's maintenance, so I can't. So yeah, I guess we shall continue.
More RTA and or I will lose that reward. So it's still hard to balancing, but we will of course collect more data and try to make a balance. Back to the refresh of the how to say the tasks and like that. I just want to bring up is we generate before we set the season. It's 3 months. It's a 3-month season. But after we run this game, we think maybe this is a little bit too long. So in the next patch, we will try to reduce this season reset into 4 to 6 weeks. So it's
4 to 6, so about 2 months. Okay. Season reset from 3 to 2 months. Sure.
So it's not fixed because we will have to align some events or some updates. So it's in general it's a 1 month, 2 months. No, sorry. It's 2 months. It's around 8 weeks like that.
Okay.
It's a 2 month season. So then the
understand this. I think it's really hard to like balance this part of the whole like, PvP, PvE. It's really hard. Now they're saying they're gonna, keep everything in line, including the events and including RTA as well, to hopefully make more people, motivated to be more engaging with these content. But I think it's really hard to do. So for this one, it's like, hey, you got any idea? Let me know in the comments, right? How do you make sure more people play PvP but isn't like discouraged by it? Something like that. I feel like the participation thing is pretty awesome. But yeah, with PvE, it's just more events, more quality of life. Same with PvP, more quality of life, all that. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to see what ideas
rewards for
may come.
Will be more frequently to get, and the task reset we will try to see if we can also make it some adjustment about that.
Okay.
That's back to RTA. But in general, so I think that's also the fun part of our game. It's the PvP part, and but the PvE it's a cycle to when you make progression, you can have more fun, have more possibility or more strategy in the PvP part. So in general, that's what's make Etheria. So when you enjoy the PvP farming and the progression, then you can also enjoy the PvP part. And also that's why we also hold this tournament in the end, just a few weeks later, in middle July. So there's we already have some players already qualified for the final stage, and they will come to Shanghai, and we will live broadcast the final tournament. So
I will be watch partying this as well. Though. We're gonna start streaming on Twitch, on YouTube. I really like this game. I wanna see this game go the long way. So yeah, obviously I'm a sponsor as well, but that doesn't mean I don't want this game to succeed, right? I enjoyed this game a bunch. Like I wouldn't grind a game this long
help the players
if I really truly didn't enjoy it. So
also we'll have in-game events. You can support your players and watch the tournament. Hope you will enjoy this tournament. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. Let's see. Because the video's really long anyway. Are there anything else? I feel like that's about it, but we're gonna like speed things up.
I think we have last one question is everybody care about is the double drop. So last time I think
I gotta listen to this. Oh my god. An hour and a half video.
Players,
Let's go.
I don't know, have a great time or just too much grinding time and
×2 event.
I think still it's one of the most rewarding event in our
especially
game.
Animus Reset. I really want to know about that. Like I feel like if you're gonna make us pay for it, just make it a permanent event that resets like maybe in a month. So maybe 5 resets a month, something like that, and you gotta pay for every single time. Maybe the first one can be free, but you gotta pay for the next few times. That's fair, right? Like surely that's fair. Maybe not 5, maybe 3. All right, 3 resets, refresh every month, something like that. You can pay for the second and the third. That would be awesome. ×2 event. I feel like whatever schedule they have is fine though for ×2 event. Like I think we just had one 2 weeks ago. If it's bi-weekly, I feel like that's fine.
We know that, so I'll just take this chance, like back to Vulcan's question, how this is supposed to be and how frequently this event will happen. So in general, because you know this event is rewarding but also quite time consuming, right?
For sure.
You will spend.
Okay, first of all as well, I'm almost certain a lot of people use a script or clicker to like do this event, right? I don't know if it's allowed. I don't think it is. But yeah, I mean, it's to be expected, right? But for players that don't use clickers, yeah, it is so time consuming. So I still think bi-weekly is fine. That's what I see. Bi-weekly. Like it's not too frequent, it's not too rare.
Whole bunch of time hours farming all the dungeons because players will save a lot of stamina for this event, we know. So that's why at the very beginning we said we only announce this event 5 days before. We don't want you to save months or to that.
I mean, we'll still save though. We'll still save. Okay, first of all, they're saying 5 days before the event they'll announce it, sure, but I think we are still conditioned to save the friggin' stabilizer, right? I'm sure everyone's saving it for the ×2 event.
So that means this event won't happen too frequently. Too frequently means it won't happen twice in a month.
Okay, so no bi-weekly. Maybe bi-weekly is too much, but hey, fair enough. They're saying not gonna be 2 in a month, so I'm gonna just assume it's once a month. They're saying they don't want to announce it so we don't save, which I think is kind of pointless. We're gonna save. Like, is any one of you spend stabilizers if it's not ×2? I don't think so. Maybe for some times where you really want to progress, yeah, you would do. But at some point, once you clear everything, you wouldn't go the long way and then spend your stabilizers. At least I don't. I'll just wait for ×2. Unless I like need a shell very in a really big emergency, I need a shell. All right, maybe I'll pop maybe a few stabilizers, but I'll still save the bulk of it for the ×2 event, right? And then here's what's gonna probably happen. Once people get used to how many stabilizers they're gonna spend per ×2 event, they're gonna slowly make adjustment. They know, okay, every ×2 event I can spend 50 stabilizers, so we'll save this amount and then the rest we can use. That's fair enough. I feel like, yeah, that's fine.
It's just too much if it happens twice in a month. So in
twice
general,
a month too much, all right?
We design it. We will launch this event 4 or 6 weeks. I think that's a
4 or 6 weeks. So they did announce it basically every month, right? 4 or 6 weeks every month. You're gonna see it once at least. Not at least, at most. So once. That's fine. So does that change much? I feel like that just means. I feel like it doesn't change too much. We're still gonna hoard our stabilizers. I mean, I don't think it changes that much. We're gonna wait for ×2, but sure.
4 to 6. It's not fixed 30 days because sometimes we have to match some of our big updates.
All right, it's not exactly gonna match exactly this time frame, but it's around this time frame. Got you, because they want to like follow their event timeline. Sure.
Let's say a big holiday, like let's say Christmas, right? Before Christmas or New Year, Happy New Year, maybe we will fix the schedule to that new
Good.
year
Cool,
or
cool,
new
cool, cool, cool.
like that. So it's not fixed 4 weeks, but every 4 or 5 weeks, I think. So we plan to at least do this double job. I think as we already talked about here, and I think the players are already asking what's the next time. So I just tease. I think we will announce this next event right at just the next week. So
Yeah, they already announced it. I'm pretty sure at the time of recording this, it's on their Twitter. It's happening soon. So yeah, stabilizers will go ahoy.
So next weekend, I think. So the official announcement will come out Monday. So as we said, so we will 5 days before that. So it will be Monday official announcement, and then the next weekend we will do it. So that's for July's double job. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for today, like joining us, especially
awesome.
for all this time we've been here. We really appreciate it.
All right,
and-
I really gotta go now. Like, it's an hour video. I'm so sorry it's so long, but I really want to like get all the main points through. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss too much. There's like about 5 minutes left, but yeah, I really can't sit through every single thing. But yeah, all of the time. I mean, for all of the stuff that's been mentioned. All right, thank God someone did a summary, right, about economy, reduce palm module, shell. Oh, this is your take. Okay, gear management. Let's separate summon arena, union, normal gear. Like on summoners, well, summoners have that. Okay, that's cool. Summon arena, union, normal gear, huh? Yeah, that's fair. Amazing. This video talking, even no filter. Keep it on communication. Appreciate the dev talk to YouTuber player like this. Yep, exactly right. Fix the coin scarcity. They did mention they're gonna kind of solve this with the new event, the most rewarding one. It's the I forgot the name. The new event. It's like the freaking safe route, risky route. So yes, gear management really isn't the biggest issue. Yeah, it's not the biggest. It's just an annoying point, right? So if you actually consider the casual player base, which I include myself in, lack of currency, resources, RNG events, if you're unlucky, you're not able to get the last rewards. Wait, really? Wait, really? Is there something like that? I didn't even realize. I thought the die ones or like the freaking dazzling pulse ones, those are no RNG, no? RNG rolls for shell passive, you can still get the lowest possible rolls in like a week. Yeah, those are so annoying. But they did say they're gonna increase the rewards of the training data you get. So that means for half of the energy you're gonna get the same amount of training data, right? Not exactly half. You know, they're saying the numbers are still in plan, so we don't know how exactly it's gonna go. How exactly it's gonna happen. But at least that means we get more rolls for shell passives. Right, that's one way to do it, giving us more rolls. It's after a PvP game, so the PvE being this hard doesn't make sense. Yeah, fair enough. But I feel like, you know, it's hard. It's like balancing, right? PvE, PvP. There are people who enjoy the PvE being hard and enjoying the grind to, like, you know, get the PvE stuff, and only for the PvE stuff. That's their end game for them. It's just PvE. It's a hard thing to do, and I'm just gonna do this one and call it a day. But some people, they are there for PvP, so PvE stuff might seem pretty boring. That's it. It's that hard. So it's like hard to balance for sure, right? But yeah, overall, a lot of people are happy, right? Oh, I gotta read this one though. If you don't want RTA to be too stressful for players, just make rewards easier to obtain. Participation versus winning. This is critical. Casuals really don't want to stress on PvP, so we're only catered to PvP competitive players, where eventually no players except tryhards. Exactly right. So what Sean B said, I think is awesome. Just make it like participation rewards. Make it reset, make it participate every week or some shit. I'm not sure every week, but maybe every season reset at least. Participate for maybe 20 games. That's awesome, right? And have it reset so there's a reason to play. And yeah, you don't have to climb to a certain rank. You just have to participate. Play a couple of games every day. That's awesome, right? So anyways, I gotta end it now. Overall, I would say it's an 8 out of 10, right? You know what? 9 out of 10. I'm not going to give 10 out of 10, but it's like all the issues we've talked about, though, no? Like all the issues the community's mentioned, they've talked about, right? So is there any... By the way, what about the reset event? Did they mention about that? I don't see it. Okay, whatever. You know what? I really got to go. But most of the stuff that we are worried about, they are at least saying they're talking about it. They are planning for it. So that's at least a W there. They're not just ignoring it, right? So I feel like it's a really good thing that they're doing. I hope they keep this up. That'll be all. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and more Etheria stuff to come. And yeah, that'll be all for now. I'm sorry. It's a really like all over the place video, but yeah, I'm also starting a lot. But in any case, hope you guys enjoyed. Take care.